is it going, boys? Going Hall of Mr. Bingo Wobblewood. Oh, yes, yes, of course. Yeah, so we're gonna do a relic session today. So we're gonna get a peek into Bingo's backstory, a little bit of a flashback. As you guys know, he is not from Willow Shore. So we'll see how he got here, how he got to Willow Shore, how it became his home, and what sort of magic object he's got, or will get rather. So to recap, we ended on quite a big cliffhanger though last session. Even though I don't think we'll get to play too much, let's someone give me a recap for a hero point. Somebody that's definitely in the toilet. Yeah, the Abacus sisters. Get their name right. Hire Ha, the guard, the female guard, first person you met. The one guy. Yeah. A little bit. Some goons? Came across some gooners? Yeah. Yeah, you got your backup characters ready? Perfect. Oh, nice. Of course, totally unnecessary. You guys are never gonna die. I'll have perfect plot armor. There's decent odds of that. Yeah, actually, everyone else is in combat. You're just knocked out. You're knocked out, taking a little nap. Yeah. Well, and someone else. I can't remember. Did you see who it was before you got knocked out? You've met him. We'll leave that as a secret for the others to discover once they hopefully rescue you. Okay. So. In Bingo's unconsciousness, he gets knocked out. We fade to black. And we open up on a crowded market. It's different from Willow Shore. It's less of these red tiles and the willows and the ornate architecture we're used to in Tiansha. It's kind of just a haphazard bazaar. People wearing thicker, or rather thinner coverings, although they're covering much more of their skin than they do in Willow Shore. Lots of robes and other draperies. I'm hearing freaking birds. No, where's my? I am absolutely picking the right soundtracks. Good enough. And we see a man standing on top of a crate of some sort in the middle of a bunch of rowdy market goers, and he says, "Do not avert your eyes, my good sirs and madams. What I bring to you all may change your lives. You, sir." And this salesman in the crowd making his pitch points out because he catches a man by the sleeve, a small little halfling man, despite his attempts to sneak past. "You, sir, you don't want to miss out on this opportunity of a lifetime." The man opened a satchel at his side, revealing about a dozen bottles of unknown liquids, various colors bubbling in just inside this man's coat. "Just one bottle of my patented snake oil here, and any injury or illness will simply disappear. It's a miracle cure, sir." There's sounds playing. And the man we know as Bingo frees his sleeve from the man's grasp. He growls, and the man attempted to call him once more, reaching out, but Bingo simply ignored his antics, leaving this charlatan to focus his efforts on other passerby. In a way, Bingo respected the cunning tenacity of the salesman, but he couldn't be fooled. He was far too clever for that. There was obviously no such thing as a miracle cure, as the man had put it. If there were, Bingo's father wouldn't still be sick. If there were, Bingo wouldn't be going to bed hungry with the rest of his younger siblings, nor would he feel the sting on his palms of torn calluses. Hours of woodwork and crafting may have barely kept his family afloat, but the physical toll on his small body made him yearn for another line of work, even one as dishonest as the man he had just brushed past. At least, the dishonest were able to return home with their pockets full. Even now, the sack of coins in his hand felt dejectedly light. He kept it clutched tightly to his chest and slightly concealed, not daring to let a swift thief snatch it from his belt, nor a stronger ruffian wrestle it from his grasp. As he approached the edge of the market, Bingo turned and cut through an alleyway to his left. He heard the bustling sounds of the street begin to fade behind him as he approached what seemed to be a dead end, the alley being cut off a large cobblestone wall. Bingo's head turned back and forth, making sure that there weren't any observers or pursuers with prying eyes. Carefully, he pulled on one of the wall's larger stones near its base, removing it from its place on the wall and allowing Bingo to slip through the hole to the other side. He had found this shortcut many years ago during one of the many investigative adventures of his youth. Nowadays, Bingo couldn't have been more thankful for his inquisitive nature and love of secrets, as this particular hole in the wall allowed him to cut straight through the alley. Not only was it faster, but it allowed him to bypass the more seedy parts of the city. Music, sorry. When he finally arrived home, Bingo's mother was scrubbing away at a number of small red stains on a blanket, likely from the most recent of his father's coughing fits. His younger siblings, Lotso and Jack, were located in a rather competitive staring contest in the corner. His father coughed weakly from the other room. Ah, wonderful, you're home. Oh, sorry, that was his mother. Oh, wonderful, you're home, Bingo's mother remarked behind tired eyes. Ah, yes, I know. A couple more hard coughs came from where he knew his father laid in the back. Well, she started, nervousness evident on her face. You know, your father was feeling up to it, and he actually went out to buy his own medicine today. I know, Bingo, I know, but I know I shouldn't have, but he was really feeling much better today, and he said he was feeling great, and he was just so adamant he wanted to go out for himself, and I just thought it would. He followed his mother's gaze down to the blood-stained cloth that sat on the table beside them. I figured it couldn't hurt. She relented. Bingo shook his head as his father continued to cough from the distance. Like many times before, he felt an annoyance toward the patriarch of their family, as the man was always too eager to overexert himself. Bingo had long speculated that was how his father had gotten sick in the first place. He had poured every ounce of blood and sweat he had into that job, hoping that one day the effort wouldn't go unnoticed, that one day he'd paid what he was worth, that one day he'd be shown a single sign of appreciation. But that day had never come. Dude. Oh. Lure? Hold on. But that day had never come. All his father had to show for his efforts was chronic illness and a bedridden life. Oh my god. Even today, he had overexerted himself as once again confined to where he lay. At least today, he had something to show for it. He had medicine. Oh, speaking of your father, his mother spoke suddenly. I believe he's waiting to talk with you when you got back. You should go see him. And after... Yeah, he's already back. After a deep sigh, Bingo nodded and headed into the other room. He found his father as he always did, lying in a dark room. Not appropriate music. It's way too inspirational. Lying in a dark room and covered by a number of blankets. His head and upper back propped up by a stack of pillows. On a small bedside table sat a single candle that lit the room, an old glass of now cloudy water, and a handkerchief stained black with blood and phlegm. Yes, my boy, he replied hoarsely. His father shifted under the covers and sat up a bit straighter. Bingo approached his bedside as his father began to rummage through a rather large sack that leaned against the bedside table. I was feeling a lot better today, this morning, so I was sorting through some of my old belongings, trying to figure out what I don't need anymore, maybe what we could sell. He pulled a round object from the bag and held it in the palm of his hand out towards Bingo. Bingo's eyes narrowed, but he took the object and shifted it into the candlelight for a better view. In his hand, he held a small bronze compass. Its age was apparent, as the outer rim contained a number of both small and medium-sized chips in the metal. Dirt and grime covered the engravings along its side and lid, and the needle seemed to have lost its ability to rotate along its axis. As Bingo studied it further, he noticed an odd insignia on the bottom that he couldn't quite make out through the scuff. His father let out a chuckle that turned into another round of coughing. No, that's not for selling, he said. It's for you. That compass was given to me by my father, and his father before him. It's sort of like an heirloom. Son, it's not about the compass's worth. This thing here may not point north, but it'll help you find where you're going. Bingo looked back down to the compass in his hand, doubtful of his father's words. Whatever use the object once had was clearly no longer the case. His father's hand met Bingo's own, and the shine of the compass disappeared into Bingo's closed fist. It's yours now. Bingo rolled his eyes as he stuffed the compass into his pocket. His father chuckled, which once again broke into yet another coughing fit.
It sounds like you're describing a moment when someone put a compass into their pocket. Without more context, it's hard to say what the significance of that action might be. Here are a few possibilities. Navigation. They might have finished using the compass for navigation.
Thank you, Google. This is the power of AI, living in a better future. That's canon. That's the compass talking. His father chuckled once again, which once again broke into another coughing fit. Bingo scrambled, snatching the bloody rag from the table and handing it to his father. I don't need medicine. Don't got any. Bingo just froze, stopped suddenly in his tracks. Slowly, he turned around to look at his father, who was once again rummaging through the bag on the floor next to him. Still rummaging through the bag without looking at Bingo, he says, don't need it no more, 'cause I got this. And Bingo's father suddenly pulled out a large bottle of liquid from the sack. I bought it today when I went out. Bingo stepped forward as his father held the bottle out for him to take. As he scanned the bottle and read its label, his heart sank and his blood began to boil. This guy called it a snake oil or something. Said it was some kind of miracle cure. That if I finish the whole bottle, I'll be better in no time. Bingo's fingertips pressed hard against the surface of the bottle, and his knuckles pulsed with pressure. I was lucky. I told the salesman I only had so much, and as it turns out, I had exactly enough for the... Bingo hurled the bottle against the wall, and it shattered in a loud crash. A burst of glass shards and snake oil covered a quarter of the room. There was a brief silence, not just in the room, but throughout the house. What on earth? That was gonna fix me. What a waste, were the only words Bingo could find before his body began to ache again. Before the sting of his calluses returned to his palms, before all of the hours and days and years of work came flooding through in an unstoppable torrent. Bingo watched his mother and siblings come rushing into the room, but he didn't care. He was tired and bitter. He looked to his father, who seemed to be forming tears in his eyes, clearly too stupid and foolish to ever understand how Bingo felt. Bingo stormed out, slipping right past his mother and siblings. No one said a word. He simply grabbed his coat, as well as the sack of coins he had earned that day, and walked out the door. We fade out. We fade back in. See a drone shot over appears to be a forest, very lush green landscape intercut by serpents-like rivers. The drone descends, brushing through the trees, and suddenly we see the drone falling behind Bingo, who's running down these forest trails. Bingo ran, beakers and bottles gripped to his chest as he tried not to drop them. Behind him, men and women gave chase, shouting curses at him as he fled the premises. He couldn't blame them, after all. He had just stolen a lot of their expensive alchemical equipment. The money he had brought with him to Willow Shore hadn't been nearly enough to even afford food, let alone the necessary equipment for brewing his wares. Unfortunately for him, that left Bingo with very little options. And unfortunately for these poor souls, that meant their equipment was getting swiped. Couldn't be helped. That was the way the world worked. Eventually, through Bingo's wanderings, he trying to escape his chasers, comes upon a small shack. Maybe it was a barn or something at one point, but now as he throws open the front sliding door, we see it has now been turned into an alchemical lab. Bingo steps foot into the lab, dashes out onto the front lawn. Sorry. The front lawn? Open the front. Oh. I was at the wrong point. Sorry. Ignore some of what I said earlier. He threw open the front sliding door to the lab with his foot and dashed out onto the front lawn, not even bothering to slip on his sandals. My bad. He's still in the lab. They would just slow him down anyways, and he could always steal another pair later. He'd done so before. Bingo felt the early morning dew squelch beneath his toes as he crossed the lawn, shouts from behind fading as he continued to gain distance. He was almost home free. However, it was only at that moment that Bingo noticed a figure standing right in his path. He slid to a stop and locked eyes with the hold on. Locked eyes with a small woman. Okay. A slender. She is average height. A small. She is short, actually, for an elf. But she is incredibly slender, pale skin. But and this short blonde hair that doesn't even reach her shoulders. He slid to a stop and locked eyes with this woman, who he recognizes as the owner of the lab, as well as the gold mine of equipment currently in Bingo's arms. He debated barreling right through her, but he wasn't exactly the biggest or strongest halfling in the world. He began to look around for an alternate path. "And where do you think you are going with all of that?" she asked him. Bingo ignored the question. Why would a thief ever tell anyone where he was going, let alone after stealing from them? "You are a man named Bingo Wobblewood, are you not? That swindling salesman. That's you, correct?" Bingo continued scanning his surroundings, hearing the shouts from the lab drawing closer. His gaze came to a stop on the graveyard nearby. A straight shot, his pursuers would be hesitant to give chase and risk desecrating any of the graves. The woman shook her head. "Surely you could find some other line of work than tricks and thievery? No?" Again, Bingo ignored the question. Would he attempt to run right past her? That would certainly be the faster option, but... Or should he bet on others having more respect for the dead than himself? He was almost out of time. Bingo needed to choose. He shifted the equipment he was carrying to one hand and dove his other into his pocket, pulling a round object from within. It was the compass his father had given him. That was about the only thing that Bingo still had from his old life. He didn't know why he even pulled it out. He just had a feeling. Perhaps its broken needle would point in either direction and make his decision for him. Unfortunately, the compass did not provide the answer. In fact, its needle actually pointed back toward the lab. Bingo stuffed the compass back into his pocket. Excuse me?" the slender elf woman asked. Footsteps approached the lab door from behind him. He was out of time. Bingo dashed to the side and bolted across the graveyard, weaving around headstones and other grave markers. Just as he had assumed, his pursuers came to a stop, wary of following his disrespectful path. "Stop! Thief!" the elf woman called after him. "Come back here, you charlatan, you fraud!" Bingo simply ran, feet pounding on the ground where men and women continued their eternal dirt nap. And then we see that drone shot of Bingo running through the woods. And we fade out. We fade back in. This time, not in the forest for sure. Come upon what's all the players or all of your characters would recognize as the town square of Willowshore, where Bingo had made a very inspiring speech to the townsfolk just a few hours earlier in our game. And we see Bingo standing on top that stage, calling out to the passerby. Bingo caught a Tengu man by the sleeve, and despite his attempts to sneak past, says, I think I'll pass, the man replied, pulling his sleeve free. Bingo flashed a number of bottles of snake oil from inside of his coat. There was nothing special about them, of course, but this man didn't have to know that. Get a real job, the man growled before storming off into the crowd of shoppers. Mercantile Street was always busy this time of day, which was good for Bingo. The more shoppers, the more likely Bingo would be to find someone dumb or desperate enough to buy into the web he would spin them. It also made it a lot easier to hide from the guards. Hey, mister? A voice spoke from behind. Bingo turned to find a young human boy staring directly eye level with him. Dirt and grime coated his face. His clothes, ragged with stains, seemed a little too small on him. Probably just some unimportant street urchin. Bingo knew what that kind of life was like. Yeah, what can that stuff do? The boy asked, tilting his head inquisitively. Anything? A grin crossed Bingo's face. He took his top hat off to reveal a bottle that had been secretly underneath the entire time. In Bingo's experience, showmanship was half the process of scamming folks. The other half was the ancient art of lying through one's teeth. But of course, Bingo wasn't a liar. He simply stretched the truth beyond good reason. Whoa, the boy let out. Bingo always kept this particular trick in his back pocket. It always seemed to impress his younger customers. Hey, do you think your miracle stuff could help with a tummy ache? My mom hasn't been feeling too good. How much? The boy asked excitedly. Bingo always took it a bit easier on the children, he swindled. Adults, they should know better, but kids, it wasn't their fault they were foolish. Of course, that did not stop Bingo from occasionally taking advantage of that foolishness. The boy dug into his pockets, and he pulled out a single silver piece. Oh, I only have this one. His head lowered and his shoulders sagged, crestfallen. That tugged just a little at Bingo's insides. But he needed the money, plus he'd already given the kid a discount. He couldn't budge on this. The kid's face lit up. Really? Oh, gee, thanks, mister. They exchanged bottle for coin, and the boy looked over the surface of the bottle happily. Oh, my mom's gonna feel so much better. Thanks again, mister, Right, thank you so much, Mr. Bingo. The kid called off as he ran, disappearing into the crowd. The snake oil wouldn't really be all that helpful, but Bingo figured there might be a chance some kind of placebo could kick in and help the kid's mom. Hell, maybe drinking it would make her throw up, clearing out whatever stomach bug she'd gotten. Regardless, it couldn't hurt her. 2 days later, throughout the streets of Willow Shore, the boy finds Bingo again. And it's evident by the tears streaming down this little boy's face and the anger in his brows and his cheeks and his gritted teeth. It's clear the snake oil did not work, and his mother had died. You lied. You're nothing but a dirty liar. Tears streaming down the kid's cheeks, his entire tiny body trembling, and Bingo just stared blankly past the boy. Liar! Liar! The boy continued to cry, and a crowd begins to form around the commotion. You're not even a real salesman, are you? Questions started coming from the crowd. Hey, what's this boy talking about? You got something to say, buddy? Did you really scam this poor child? A woman chides. Bingo quickly gathered his things into his pack as the questions grew more and more hostile. Without giving an answer or speaking a single other word, Bingo took off down Mercantile Street, weaving through the crowd of people. "You're a faker! Bring my mommy back, you liars, you fraud!" Some who had been questioning him gave chase, but Bingo was easily able to lose them all after ducking down a small side street. He ran, and he ran, not letting any stumbles or trips stop him. He didn't let his mind think about it. He wouldn't think about it. Eventually, Bingo came to a stop and found himself at the edge of the river that ran through the middle of Willow Shore. He slipped his pack off and sat down, catching his breath. He still stared blankly ahead, only the quiet sounds of the river's wildlife and his own heartbeat keeping him aware of the passage of time. After a few minutes, which could have been hours for all Bingo knew, he came back to reality and began frantically scanning the pockets of his coat. The numerous bottles of snake oil underneath clinked as he did so, taunting him, reminding him. And then he found what he was looking for, the compass. Again, he didn't know why, but something it called him to take it out again. He tried so many times over the last 14 years to pawn the thing off, especially when he got particularly low on funds, but no one ever bought it. He turned the device in his hand, studying it like the day he'd left his father behind. The grime was still there, the metal still dented, the needle still broken. It continued to point in the same direction it always had, this time, coincidentally, pointing back towards Mercantile Street. "This thing here may not point north, but it'll help you find where you're going." Bingo remembered his father's words, the words of a dying man. He gripped the compass tighter and began shaking it, but the needle stayed put. He hit the thing with his other hand and shook again. The needle again stayed put. The needle stayed put. He scowled and chucked the compass into the river. We fade out. We fade back in. And we see Bingo is now not just 8 years older, 15 years older than his than we have seen him through these last flashbacks. He looks as he does as our players recognize him. Much older. I don't know. Ryan, is he middle-aged now, you say? He's 47. So we started those scenes. He was, early 20s, supporting his family, and now he's got his signature goatee, and beer belly. Upstanding community member of Willow Shore. We see Bingo walking the streets of Willow Shore, kind of slurking in the shadows. As he walks by, he can hear the voices of the people walking down Mercantile Street. We see people wheeling in carts and wheelbarrows, supplies and harvest from the spring. All these spring vegetables and flowers, and it looks like people are preparing to decorate. It's about a month before the first day of summer. Bingo's making his way through Mercantile Street, past downtown Willow Shore, across the Dawnstep Bridge, trying to avoid notice as much as possible. He doesn't often take the bridge because that's there's too much attention on him there. Too close. There's nowhere to hide, especially with the light of the Eternal Lantern shining on him as he walks through the center of the bridge. But he makes his way across to South. It's not South Shore, is it? South Bank. Wrong city. It's Northridge and South Bank. South Shore is in Hillsbrad. He makes it across the river to South Bank, and now he's not able to sneak as well without the alleyways and buildings and shadows of Northridge. But luckily, there's less people here. Everyone seems to be in the center of town, decorating. He makes his way through the rice fields and the wheat fields to the edge of the forest, where Ryan, can you tell me where is Bingo staying these days? Okay, and he pays proper rent? Okay. Because he upstanding citizen, an honest living. Yeah. Bingo makes his way to the edge of the forest, in between the Lady of Souls and Graveside Manors. Walking through the trees, twigs and bushes brushing up against his signature red coat and top hat. And before him, he finds what he's looking for. An entire bounty of mushrooms and herbs, other fungus and plants that he had kept there, just hidden out of sight, just under a bush that's propped up right against a tree. Pulls out a sack and he sees all of his alchemical supplies, except the one ingredient he needed most is a venom sac. He had spent a long time searching for, slaying spiders and scorpions, and taking many trips to the Hand of Spring, Dr. Dami's clinic, to cure himself of all the venom and poison he had endured. He makes his way to the sack, and the venom sac he needed is missing. The most important ingredient to make his vials of poison. It's gone. Scan the area, looking at the dirt around him, and bingo. You don't see it anywhere. No signs that anyone had picked it up. You hear, finally, you hear some sort of sound behind you. You turn around, and you see a familiar face. You see your good old friend Yu Sojin. She's got these clippers. She's clipping some flowers in the forest here and some other herbs. But as she's doing this, she's staring right at you. It's evident to you that she wanted you to hear her. Ah, hello, Bingo. Well, I was just scanning for truffles for the festival later this month. Apparently they've been making their way west. I didn't know that, but Old Mosky thought, you know, with my keen eye, I would be able to spot them here, and you know, I found quite a few, and I actually found a lot more than I was looking for. I'm sorry. Are you accusing me of lying? Bingo. Bingo. Not everyone gets by in life by lying as you do. Of course, I recognize... I recognize, you know, you need to make a living for yourself, but I promise you, I was just searching for truffles. And you notice... Your house? Well... Yes. Curious. So you are in the forest right now. So your house is close. But this is like the forest behind your house. Yes, but is also close to my residence as well. She goes, I see you've noticed there's something missing. Well, I just thought I was truly just, you know, looking for supplies and looking for truffles for the festival, but I stumbled upon what I assumed, and correctly assumed, had to have been your stash. I didn't know that until I opened it, of course, and saw. Yes, your stash. Or maybe 1 damage. Huge. She goes, she's not holding a pot of flowers, but she is wearing that apron there, and she pulls out the venom sac that you're looking for out of that front pocket. I did find this on top, and it concerned me a little bit. One, because I'm not quite sure how you obtained it, and I don't really want to know either, but I'm concerned about what you intended to do with it. Right, but it is all of our business if anyone were to get hurt from this. Don't worry about what that guy said. Uh, um, it is all of our business. If you're gonna make a weapon with this. And I'm sure you're not, but what if a killer were to want to purchase a weapon from you? And what if they had all the riches in the world? What if they were prepared to give you 100 gold pieces for something you can make with this? That way I always come out on top. Yeah, it's fine. That's not the right song. Oh, this song. It would be the first time you guys wouldn't try it if you didn't. You have. So she goes, I'm sure you're not the violent type. Oh, that's not good. Thanks, Weber Creative. This is an incredibly one-sided conversation. Not only has Bingo been muted, you all have been muted.
No, not again. Not like this.
No.
All my one-liners.
All your clever
It's
one-liners.
quipped.
Yeah, now you guys are on. All right, let's redo that entire thing.
All right,
Hooray.
from the top.
From the top.
From the
100
top.
gold pieces. We could use that to build an entire armory with that.
Is this how you dupe items in Pathfinder? Is this how he ends up with 2 artifacts?
Now there's 2 of them. Now I have 2 compasses.
No. And they're both pointing in different directions.
Oh,
When we do
no.
it again, I start to go off script.
It's okay, I already went off script. That
real.
sucks. Thanks for letting us know, Weber Creative. This is why I stream. So people can tell me that, hey, you don't know what the fuck you're doing.
Real.
That
If you didn't
sucks.
stream, then just all of us would have heard everything, and no one would have not heard anything.
Yeah, but all
But the
our
VOD,
massive
but the
audience doesn't
True.
get to hear this, and Keith and Momo
Oh, right.
aren't gonna
Yeah.
know what's happening.
Keith's 100% gonna watch it.
Yeah, it's okay. I know you guys don't watch the recaps when you.
I do when
miss
I miss them. I just don't miss sessions very often.
No one else does.
I only missed like one session and I forgot to watch it when I did. So
You only
SM.
missed 30 minutes of a
I'm super
session and you didn't even watch it. Like, you didn't even skip to the end and watch the last 30 minutes.
yes,
Um,
that is true.
Wait, and then the other session you missed, when you were gone, we tied you up and threw you into something, and you weren't even, like, you didn't even find out until you came back.
It's true.
And then he was wet.
You could have left an angry comment in the comments section of the video.
Yeah,
Oh boy.
we gotta get that engagement on our YouTube videos.
So
It's,
real.
it's just gonna be angry comments from Ryan every time.
It's like, God damn it,
using
stop
different
tying me and throwing me at things. Stop
That's what you
painting me
get for
blue
not
when I
showing
fall
up.
asleep.
I just start. I
Every
just
time I
start
fall asleep,
commenting
these guys paint me blue.
I start commenting with like alt accounts, being like, "Man, they're really mean to this Ryan guy."
Ryan's my favorite player, but everyone's so mean to him.
You gotta Photoshop a version of Bingo in which the skin color is blue,
Blue. All right, I'll do it.
just for all the times we paint you blue. You know,
It's
we,
like
just, we need a token for it.
Paint you blue without your
I'll make one.
consent.
I'll do it.
So you could,
I'll
you
literally
could
just
like
print this out and go back over it in blue. That way, it looks like it's blue on top of the skin color.
Yeah, just paint
there's
it.
there's a feature in Path Builder where you can actually just like right click your character and switch your icon, cause like for transformation classes.
Oh,
Oh
you-
hell
So you could just he could just import your image in there, and then you could just swap to the blue Bingo whenever it happens. Whenever we tell you, oh by the way, we painted you blue, you're just like, oh shit, and you just switch your icon, and then suddenly you're blue.
hell yeah! I like this a lot. I'm absolutely doing that, like unironically.
there you go. I made him blue.
Just he becomes a Smurf.
Oh, he's blue now.
There you
He's
go.
blue. That's the best we'll get for now.
And your guys' paint is so bad, you just paints over his bag and his clothes.
Yeah,
It's completely
I'm
blue.
not trained in art lore. It's not my fault.
I look like I'm like underwater. Like,
Well, you are pretty wet.
so real.
Okay.
Bingo gets wet a lot. I just realized that.
You gotta stop falling places.
Gotta stop falling.
in
They
the
gotta stop
river.
throwing me into things. That's more like it.
Hey. I've never done anything like that.
Throwing bingo into stuff is probably the best strategy you guys have had.
It is yet to fail. It is yet to fail. Just saying.
Only positive
Doesn't fail.
results.
It only gets better each time and funnier each time.
Okay. So Yusojin says, well, what if I know you're not a killer, but what if a killer were to offer you a massive sum of gold for a weapon you could make with this? What then?
I don't like this line of questioning.
Well, I'm not giving this back to you till I get a promise from you that you will not use it to make a weapon.
That's the game we're gonna play?
Life and death is not a game. You know this.
Wonder if you're playing Russian roulette.
Real.
She
Fine.
pulls out a revolver. Would you like to play Russian roulette?
You feel lucky, Bingo?
It's just a singular crossbow. By crossbow, and it does 1 damage if you get it.
The problem is when you play Russian roulette with Bingo, no one dies. Every
These
time the
bullets
bullet
do no
hits,
damage.
they're just darts. They're just Nerf darts.
So real. I like to imagine when the Nerf darts do damage, it's just hitting them in the eyes. It's like, oh, fuck, ow.
Yes. She says, not until you promise.
Fine, I promise.
See, give me a deception check. Are you lying actually?
Bingo's kind of lying.
Yeah, give me deception.
Deception? Alright. Let's see.
You can do it public.
Technically speaking, this is in the past, so I don't think I have proficiency on this yet. Because I didn't at the start of the campaign.
Okay, we'll subtract from
I
it then.
only had like I think the first level. I think that was it. Because I think I've bumped that. So
You trained it twice because you're an expert now. I think you're trained.
yes, yeah, I was trained.
You're trained, not expert. Okay, we'll subtract 2 from this.
All right, good
Give
to
me this.
know.
You can roll it public.
Alrighty. Yep.
Okay. I gotta look.
Oh boy.
I gotta look up her stats actually. Does she? Okay.
Yeah, she good at figuring me out, or she's just incredibly naive.
She looks you up and down. She says, "Okay. You know." She opens her. She lowers her palm towards you, to offer you the venom sac again. She goes, "I know you don't mean any harm, Bingo. I know what you're doing is all the things you're doing is just so you can survive and make a living. And um uh, do you take it, by the way?"
Yes, I do take it.
Okay. And she pulls her hands back and she just holds them into those pockets on the side of her apron. She goes, I've been talking to Olmatsky and Elizeth, and they think it would be a good idea if you were to use your skills for the betterment of the town.
Explain.
Well, you see, they're gonna fake a town invasion, and they want you to pretend to be the hero. And they're gonna hire all these random guys to pretend with you to make you really sell the bit, you know? Because no one's gonna believe you did it on your own.
It was all a
And
conspiracy
they're
all
and
along.
they're gonna contract all these these weird wood creatures that steal people's faces
They're
into
not made of
pretending.
wood.
I thought they were made of timber.
They're
That's
made
right,
of
That's why they
timber.
lived in the timber
They're the
mill.
Tumber Mill.
Oh no.
Those really nice, kind residents who occupied the timber mill a year ago. They're gonna go get them to pretend to be invaders. To really keep up the ruse.
Uh-huh. She explains all of this in perfect detail.
Mm-hmm.
Now she goes, well, old Matsky was able to collect some funds, and he offered me a stipend of sorts. Not sure if it's a loan or what, but he offered me a stipend, and he would like me to hire you at Graveside Manors.
What would the job be?
Well, it's all the skills you have. You know, you could come out here and collect ingredients, reagents, and you'd help me to do my crafting with the herbs and make the things we need for the to prepare the dead. And apply it if necessary. You would obviously be seeing a lot of death and a lot of sorrow coming through here.
He loves that shit.
So I understand if that makes you uncomfortable, but Matsky really thinks, and you know, Elizeth too, and I, for that matter, I think it'd be good for you. What do you think?
I'll think about it.
You know, we have a very important job here. Obviously, we help carry people to their afterlives, but also for Willow Shore's own protection, we help keep the dead.
Hmm.
You you would gain a lot of respect in the town working here. And maybe that reputation of yours, I'm sure you're aware of, might begin to reverse. And you would earn a living. You could move out of that shack you're living in.
I'd like to call it a private domicile.
Yes, yes. Well, why don't you think about it? You know where I'll be.
Right.
And, I'll give you some time, but you know, the offer is always open. If you're unsure, maybe talk to old Matsuki, see what he has to say, hear it from him yourself. But even if you don't decide to take it, I hope you'll be able to join everyone for the festival. She just
Right. That's like soon.
God,
Yeah.
think of all the people you could scam at one of those.
That is exactly what Bingo is thinking of. Is he's like, man, that's gonna be a big business day for Bingo.
She just tilts her head and gives you a little wink, and she walks on back through the forest, back to Graveside Manors. Now, as you go to place the venom sac back into your little stash, it feels, you realize now after the conversation, it's heavier than you remember it.
I check it out.
Yeah, you flip it upside down, you know, you shake it a little bit, and yeah, it's clearly something in there. Why don't you give me a nature roll or survival real quick?
Alrighty. My nature's +7, so I'll do that. Alright. Not great.
Okay.
Not great.
You shake the venom sac, and by the way, for the audience, it is large. It is clearly he got this off of a monster spider, probably like the ones that are about to kill Margot and Sned.
Yo. Let's go.
Yo.
This is
About
Hey,
to
yo.
not notice Margot and Sned. I'm so fucking sneaky.
Yeah, you're not gonna even see him, bro.
Not gonna see Margot with all her shit rattling off of his cloak, all his little
With
implements.
my lantern on, like they're like, what the fuck is that light?
Giant lantern.
Charms and like,
Yeah.
and his very, very out there personality of, I wonder if anything's in here.
So sneaky.
So sneaky.
Yeah, this venom sac is like the size of Bingo's head. It is huge. But you're shaking it and you're not able to tell what's in there. So you're gonna have to reach your hand in there and get it.
God damn it. Venom. Can I check my bag to see if I have any like gloves?
Yeah, you probably have gloves. You deal with this type of thing a lot. You put on your what do you think? Would they be cloth? Would they be leather?
I think they'd be like leather.
Leather. Okay.
Yeah,
Strap on
he
some-
stole them, but I think they're leather.
Stole them from Yusojin.
Yeah, of course.
Like everything.
You
Like everything, bro.
dive
This is
your
venom
hand
sac.
into the venom sac. It's very wet in there.
Gross.
And
Why am I always getting wet? This better not be a thing.
And I'll give you a bonus from that. Putting on your gloves there. I think, unfortunately, you do have to dig in kind of far, and
Yeah.
some of the venom and acid gets on your elbow, or not your elbow, your forearm, just past your wrist. You dig around and you pull out, and it is, of course, your father's compass.
What the hell?
You-
Is she?
you-
Like, she's gone, right?
She's gone.
Where the hell did she even?
As you're asking, where the hell, and you look down the compass, and it's pointing, of course, right at where she walked away from, towards Graveside Manors.
Whatever. What does Bingo do here?
And
Huh.
you feel that sting from the venom on your forearm. I don't know how much damage let's see, how much damage would that be? There you go.
Bingo
5
dies in this
damage.
flashback. Fuck.
5
God
damage
damn it.
to your wrist.
My wrist is numb. This sucks.
So, Bingo's sitting here with a throbbing wrist.
Yep.
Yep.
That one.
Throbbing wrist. That's what he put in his venom sac, nothing else. He put his hand.
Yes. Put my hand in that.
What does Bingo do? Your father's compass that you had tossed away a year ago, that's never managed to point anywhere. It's now pointing you right at Graveside Manors.
Stupid thing doesn't even work. I think he probably I think he's just looking at it like bewildered that this thing is back. Like, what the hell? How on earth? For another time, I think he stuffs it just in his pocket again.
Okay.
Guess you're not gonna leave me that easily.
As you shove it into your pocket, you feel the pain on your wrist instantly subsides. You notice it's and you regain those 5 hit points.
Huh. Weird. I think I'm gonna pull the compass out again.
Okay.
Still pointing the same direction, I assume.
Still pointing right at Graveside Manors. Yeah. Mystery for another time. And I think he just puts it in his pocket again. He's like, I'm not dealing with this right now. Okay. Shoves it back in his pocket. Bingo gathers, picks up his sack, and he walks back into his domicile, as you put it.
His private domicile.
His private domicile.
Definitely not just a shack in the woods.
Not just
We're near the woods.
4 sheets of, I was gonna say metal, just 4 shitty sheets of wood.
Yep.
Not even a roof.
No floor, no roof. Just the 4 sheets of wood.
Bingo walks back into his private domicile, and we fade to black. And then we fade back. We fade back in. Now, Ryan, can you tell me, did Bingo take the deal in the last month to go work at Graveside Manors?
I don't think he did, but he didn't give them a no. He just did not. He did not bring it back up.
So you're telling me there's a chance?
So you're telling me there's a chance? I think his thought was, we got the festival coming up. I can wait until then to think on it.
And then the festival came up.
And then the festival came.
Okay. So he took a month to think about it, or it took like 2 weeks to think about it. Didn't answer. And we will fade back in.
Oh boy.
And I'm going to move the camera here.
A Tumber Mill.
We're back to the Tumber Mill. We fade in, and
Take me back.
bingo. You just barely start to regain your consciousness. You guys, you had such a strange dream.
Oh god.
You flash back to the last 15 years of your life. But the strangest thing was the most recent memory you dreamt about, just about 2 months ago, or a month and a half ago. You remembered that encounter with Yuso Jin. You remember her offering you the job, but you don't remember that compass being in the venom sac. As you regain consciousness, you're scanning your pockets. You realize you lost those cultists that knocked you out. Took your crossbow, took your dagger, took some of your flasks. But patting down your pockets, and you find just one thing in your coat pocket. You pull it out, and it's your father's compass.
My god. What the hell, man?
And this time it's pointed right beside you. To this man.
Hey, you. Is he unconscious? Or is
No,
he? Oh, he's conscious. Okay.
he's awake.
Don't y'all recognize you from somewhere?
What? And the man is tightly bound with rope here. He goes, what's going on? And you see a moment as he looks like he's in a daze, like he's been almost like he's been drugged or something. That's Bingo's first thought. And he's, as you see the clarity return to his eyes and his face, he goes, where's my son? What's going on here?
Look, buddy, I'm not sure either. I think there's a couple of cultists that have captured us. They took all my stuff. This looks like I beat you pretty bad. Do I recognize you from somewhere?
What? You're Bingo, yes? I'm Come Soon Chong. I own the stables right across from Old Matsky, across from Graveside Manors.
Right. I think I've seen you a couple times before.
Yes. No, how did you end up here? Or did they did the town send a rescue crew here?
Well, we were trying to take back the Tumber Mill, and not now. And then we were like talking to some of the people involved, and we were trying to make deals. And I was doing some snooping, and I guess I snooped a little too far into what I wasn't supposed to.
He goes,
I think they knocked me out. I don't know exactly where we are. I'm assuming this is behind the curtain that I saw earlier.
It is. He goes, please, help me. Oh, well, I'd say help me. I
Gotta help myself first. This is we are in a sticky situation here.
Please, can you get us out of here? I know you're powerful. Please.
Powerful is that's maybe not the most accurate way of putting it.
I know you're strong, Bingo. You're the chosen one. He goes, please, my son, Meng Sung, they took him. They took him off some trail north of here. There's cultists, you say, that's put you here. Please, if you can get out. And he looks down and at you, and you look down at yourself, and you're not bound. Please, if you can escape, please go help my son. I heard those cultists talking, saying he was some sort of old soul, and they were eager to use him as an offering to someone that they called the Great Kugapzi.
Oh boy. Not the best not the best thing to hear. Oh boy.
Please, I'm too sick and beaten to move, even if you're able to pull these bondages off of me. And now you're looking at him, and you guys, he's got like deep cuts, like across, like lashes across his arms, like open wounds. He's got a black eye. He's got bruises all over his body.
Oh God, you ain't doing so hot, are you?
Says no. I'm not sure I'll even make it out of here, but please, if you can, please help my son. He's maybe misguided, but he doesn't deserve what I think they're trying to do to him.
Where'd you say he was?
He's just north of here. I heard them talking about some ritual sites outside of the camp.
Right. Well, good thing I believe we're planning on heading there anyways.
We?
Yeah, I got some buddy. They're pretty capable. I think they're just sitting around right now.
Doing nothing important.
I'm sure they're just kind of sitting around, not doing anything important. So, I'm pretty sure they're probably in good condition to get me out of here, and maybe even get you out of here, and
Yes,
I mean, I can check and see if there's any guards, but
please,
don't know how I'll be able to sneak by them.
please, will you help my son? He coughs, and the cough sounds very familiar. Calls back to your father's cough, as you see Kam Soon Chong cough up blood on his already very bloodied dress here. And I think we'll end it there.
Let's go.
What could
Hell yeah.
possibly go wrong? I'm
What
in a
could
great
possibly
situation.
go wrong? Everyone's just sitting around, guys. Like, they can come get me. They're gonna be totally fine.
Yeah, we're just chilling. There's nothing else weird happening.
In fact, I bet Elijah
Everyone's
is
okay.
like full health too. I'm pretty sure Elijah's at full health, so he can just come get me specifically.
He is in
Yeah,
fact.
I'm on my way right now,
Jesus.
actually, believe it or not.
He's in fact over 100% health.
Is he actually?
Exactly.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
He's got some temporary HP still. He hasn't been touched. He's getting touched pretty hard right
Can't
now,
say
though.
the same.
I am getting pretty touched pretty brutally. It's a pretty horrible scene, really. I don't even want to describe it.
And Margot's perfectly safe.
Margo is perfectly safe. Him and Sned, dude, like
Birds and spiders.
they could never ever wander into a place where they might be in danger.
A bird, a snake, and a spider walk into a room.
Walk
Three
into
best
a kitchen.
friends walk into a kitchen. They leave cooking a great meal. That's definitely not each other.
So real. Let's go.
Definitely nobody's eating anyone else in this room.
That's oddly specific.
You have to say things like that when Sned's around. Or else everyone in the room gets eaten. Just a Sligmold
Real.
thing, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Such is the way.
So, I want to ask a couple things here, Ryan. Did you look through the relic rules?
Not entirely.
Okay. Do you understand the concept?
Yes, I remember looking through it before. I just don't know
Months
what.
ago.
Yes, months ago when you were like, "We're gonna give everyone relics," we're like, "Cool," and then it was like, it's been like 4 months since then. So I'll re-look through them.
Okay. I am thinking.
Yep.
So you get two they call them gifts.
Yeah.
Or what is it called?
Boons. Or whatever other fucking word.
You get two properties. I'm
Properties.
thinking one of them should
Just like
be,
Monopoly.
yeah, one of them should be life.
I am cool with that. Bingo is absolutely cool with that.
Yeah. Or
Mr.
aspects. That's what they're called. Sorry.
Aspects. Mr. Oh shit, I've already run out of quick tinctures for my health potions. Oh no. It'd be really nice if I didn't have to give myself a health potion.
Yeah. So the aspects are air, artistry, beast, celestial, death, dragon, earth, emotion, fiend, fire, forge, life, luck, metal, mind, plant, shadow, soul, time, and water. I think for you, one of
I
those
think
should be
life is probably the best of those.
You get two.
Like the only one. Ooh, okay. Maybe life and.
So I think life would be a good one for you, and the other one, do whatever you like with that.
Send me the list of them, and I'll look at them and
Yeah.
see what we can
I
get from it.
Sent you the page on Archives of Nethys, and
Yeah.
there is so those are all the aspects, and the aspects come with gifts. So
Cool.
for example, like Elijah's locket, I believe is the death one.
Time also.
Death and time, yeah.
Death and time.
Or no, it's soul and time, and it allows him to summon undead. That's
Cool.
why he summons that
Insane hand.
with the
that is-
signature.
Is the most powerful party member as established.
It's
we
the most,
know.
dude. It's the tank of the party.
He throws hands.
He
He's the
throws
beast of
hands.
the party.
It's pretty good.
The only one with the signature move.
Signature throat grab.
The signature throat.
So you get those two aspects, which are like properties of the relic.
Yep.
And then as you level it up, you get gifts, which are these active abilities that you
Got
can use. So you only get one minor gift for now. You can choose it either from either of the two aspects. So for life, let me see which one. Oh yeah, minor gift. There are 3 minor gifts. One is bestow life. It's a 2 action. You can do it once per day. You can turn a inanimate object into an animated object.
Oh hell yeah! I'll keep that one in mind.
2 is a healing wave. Once per hour, it's 2 actions. And you can do a cone of 1d4 health per level of the relic. So I think it
That
levels,
might be good to have just an actual healing thing.
yeah, it levels up with you. So I believe
Ooh,
it'll be level 3. So 3d4 health in a cone, AoE. Pretty good. You can do that once per hour. And then there's overflowing life. Life force flows through you. You get an item bonus to half the relic's level to the hit points you recover from healing and vitality spells. So anytime someone heals you, you get +1 or 2 health. That one's passive.
Ooh,
It's just
okay.
anytime you get a healing effect, you just get +2.
Interesting.
So those things you can do with life, and then there's other gifts that you can look through. But you'll get one
Yep.
minor gift.
Got it.
So, yeah, that's that. And then I think you and Queer are the only 2 now that do not have an archetype. So we'll end the session here, but I do want to talk to you off air if you have time about archetypes as well.
Okay, do you want to do that now or do you want to do that later?
We'll do that now. But I'm going to end the stream here in a second. So thank you for joining us, Weeber Creative, and thank you for letting me know that I wasted like an hour and a half with everyone's mics off.
Oh, real.
Just kind of ruined that really narrative session we had.
The theater of the mind with just one mind.
Yeah.
No
Theater of
theater.
the mind, one side.
Lots of role playing.
Theater of one mind.
Exactly. So, yeah, and hopefully Keith will be back next week. Did he? I don't remember what he
I
said.
think it's next week, and then the week after he's like an OC again.
Yeah. So we'll get to play next week. We'll see how far we get. Now give you guys a little bit of a meta spoiler here. In case you weren't sure, we are very close to the end of book 1.
Ooh.
I guess so.
Someone's gonna die.
Almost
Uh-oh.
positive the town gets taken right now, and we have new overlords.
Yeah.
Oh no. Oh no.
So
No me gusta.
we're very close. So
All praise Makupti. Kupti.
Kugapti.
Gugapti.
Margot absolutely
right.
would sell out to our new overlord.
Margot was raised in the church and does not believe in any god until he meets Kugapti.
All
Then
That's
those
everything
Kugapti.
changed.
Oh, real.
Conveniently so, he just had a really good argument, and he just
I
had
saw
to
him
ignore
eat all of our guards.
He did do that.
He couldn't get LeBron. He wasn't that strong, but
No one can trap
That's why you
LeBron.
put your real faith in LeBron.
yeah. I should have sent LeBron to scout, dude. I can't
Yeah.
believe I sent her
LeBron-
useless.
Oh, dude.
LeBron would have scouted great.
So next
LeBron probably would have taken over that camp single-handedly. Would have killed that priestess and everything.
Does LeBron have a son named Bronny?
of course, he also has another son named
Okay, good.
Bryce and another
Good, good, good.
daughter and a daughter named Juri. So
Cool.
weird names for Willow
Coincidentally.
Shore, but
True.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but like he likes unique names. What can we say?
yeah. His wife's name is Savannah.
Nice.
She's very
for
popular
him.
in the town.
Ooh,
Oh,
not
shit.
as popular as
What does that
LeBron, though.
mean?
LeBron is more popular.
Exactly.
He is so attractive. Just look at him.
He is so attractive, dude. LeBron?
Everyone
gonna-
Like,
loves LeBron James.
I'm gonna die of hunger, so I'm gonna go eat dinner.
Yeah.
But GG's.
GG's.
Peace.
See you next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye.
See y'all.
Bye.